Hey, so here we are, out for a little walk in the neighborhood. I'll show you around. My name is Robin Pecknold. I am a music video and film director based in Los Angeles, California, from Seattle, Washington. So we're gonna turn time back a little bit to one of my early videos called Grizzly Bear, While You Wait for the Others.
While you wait for the others to make it all worthwhile.
I had done a few stop motion projects, one out of clay, one out of paper, and I had wanted to try one using the technique called pixelation, which is where you use real people doing things in large scale, real world scale, but frame by frame, moving stuff around.
What was left? Perfect.
The song for me always felt like these big bursts of energy. In my mind, it was someone trying to knock their thoughts out of their head. Either they're dealing with some regret, some memories they want to shake, whatever it is, that became the metaphor for this. In the end, the things he wanted to get rid of, in doing so, they kind of swallowed him up and took him over.
Nobody can see me.
Oh, all right, here we go, new location. Opera Philadelphia Paper Tiger. When the Opera Philadelphia calls, you answer the phone, okay? And so they called a year and a half ago and said, we've got a 12-minute original composition from Yaz Lancaster. Do you want to make a 12-minute film to accompany it? And I said, heck yes, let's do it. I wrote a short story inspired by the composition, and it was really cool because when you make a music video, you have one song, it's coming from the record label and the band, and it's through the engine of music release. And this was refreshing and interesting to work on something that was being built while we were making the film. I got to work with Togi Barcelo, who's an incredible choreographer who had actually been in our Fool's Errand Fleet Foxes video years prior. We were looking for a lead dancer, and we saw Megan Doheny's work through an LA Dance Project solo show on Instagram, and she brought a whole new life to the part, and she was so captivating to watch. My brother, Robin Pecknold of Fleet Foxes, and we were both saying, you know, it'd be amazing is to work with Stacy Rosic, who is a Seattle-based illustrator that we were both fans of. And we hadn't yet met, but I think had a lot of mutual friends. So we connected with her. I think Robin emailed her and said, would you ever want to work on an animated video with Sean and our music? And she was like, definitely. Then I wrote a treatment from there based on that idea of making a really epic multi-plane video for the 8.5-minute song Shrine and Argument. And I got a small team together. We relocated to Portland, Oregon. I brought on Britta Johnson, my previous animation teammate, Stacy Rosic to illustrate characters, and an art assistant, Natalie Jenkins. And for the next 6.5 months, we animated the video. One big breakthrough on the video for me was we originally had a main character sitting on the elk throughout the whole video, and that was more of the focus. And when we were doing puppet tests, it was all too complicated. There were too many parts, too many limbs to move around on the table, and I was like, I don't think I can animate this many limbs. And so I killed the main character before we even started. I said, let's do the elk as the main character, and let's put a strange demon-like creature inside of his stomach. I'm always trying to leave room for interpretation and adjustments to story and storytelling through the process. I think you can have as much as you can figured out, but don't figure out everything, because then it'll feel maybe a little too sterile. So leave room for those last-minute tweaks and changes that feel natural and elevate and make the project better. Let's turn back time a little bit to February 2020. We didn't know what kind of year that was going to be, but the phone rang, and it was Rishikesh Hirway from Song Exploder podcast, which I was a huge fan of. And he said, Sean, we're making a Netflix adaptation of our podcast. We've got a song, R.E.M. Losing My Religion, a seminal track. We want you to visualize some sort of stop motion for it. And I said, let's do it. We were inspired by the practice space of R.E.M. in Athens, Georgia, when they were just making that record. And we took the essence of some inspiration from houses from that area and that time period, created the house, filled it with light and a few objects that represented elements of the songwriting process or the song lyrics themselves, the typewriter, the speakers, and created what I like to say feels like the ghosts of that process and that time of making that song. I like putting characters on journeys that allude to change, either small or big. You can't leave your house, and I know it sounds really cheesy, but you can't leave and come back. Something in you changes, and I'm attracted to that change and the evolution of a character over the course of time and an expanse of geography or space. So I'm drawn to characters on journeys, and I am also drawn to epic adventures with animals. I had been working with Sean Lewis, the illustrator, on an animated feature project. He drew incredible environments that we then took into printing out, putting on the multiplane, and then brought in an incredible animator, Eileen Colehep, who's a producer and stop motion animator, and she animated the first scene. And as soon as I saw her shot, I was like, okay, you have to animate the whole video. So I imagined this story of this hawk with a broken wing looking for his home or a new home and being helped along the way. Hey, it's Sean here. 180 ID. Now we got to find a new location. So come along. We're gonna backpedal time a little bit. The phone rang. It's Dave Longstreth from Dirty Projectors. And when Dave calls, you answer the phone. I can't stress that enough. When these people call, you answer. He had also a kind of bright, colorful new song inspired by love, and I kept listening to it, and I wrote a treatment that had him in a colorful skate park that we would create with Adi Goodrich, my partner and production designer, and all these skaters and kids and people doing backflips and this energy all around them. And I was like, this is not possible. And Adi came by and she was like, that's cool, but you're kind of obsessed with birds right now. You're reading a book about birds. It's all you talk about. Why don't you do birds? And I was like, birds. So Adi designed an incredible room. I like things that are contained in one space, especially if you're limited on time and budget. And we just had barely enough space in the studio to light it, film it, have a giant raptor standing by to fly through, all the birds, a little bit of crafty, some snacks. And we shot it in one day, and it was great. Fleet Foxes' Can I Believe You? It was another 2020 project. We didn't have much time. I think there was 3 weeks to make a video. And when there's no time, I prefer to at least shoot on film. We shot on super 16 millimeter celluloid. Gives it that classic look. All of our inspiration was from 1940s and 30s musicals. An American in Paris, The Red Shoes, Powell and Pressburger. I wanted this video to sort of be a third and climax of those previous two films. When you are lucky to work with the same musical collaborators in Fleet Foxes and Robin, you can start playing with things like that, of continuity from video to video. And I like to think they all sort of exist in the same universe, and there's some overlapping themes and characters. The idea that these two people, they really wanted to meet, but in the end, they can't, because for whatever reason, things have to end a little bittersweet and sad.
Can I believe you? Can I believe you?
Hello, well, I know there's not much time left on this 180 ID, but don't leave quite yet. I want to tell you about our latest and greatest stop motion project called Tennis Oranges. It's a 10-minute short film that we made mid-pandemic with the resources that we had. It deals with loss and loneliness and the bittersweet magic of life. It's been a real honor to share a bit of our world here with you and give you a sense of some of my projects. Portugal holds a deep place in my heart. In 2019, both me and Adi visited Portugal. Went to a puppet museum in Lisbon. When I was looking at the puppets, I said, you know what? I need to make another stop motion animation. And that's what led to the short that we just finished, Tennis Oranges. So thank you for that. Thank you for watching, and enjoy this beautiful vista.